it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So, in this video, we're going to talk about Jay Slater, and we're going to talk about Jay's Law again, and Debbie Duncan, Jay's mum, has done another interview and talking about what her intentions are, why she wants to get this this new law put into place. Now, I think what we have to make clear, this is not a law against free speech. This is a law against misinformation. God, what was that shadow that just went? Oh, did you see that shadow go over there? Oh my God, what the hell was that? Oh, it must have been a fly, surely. Oh, yeah, maybe it's a fly on the camera. God, okay. Anyway, yeah, it's not a law against free speech. It's not a law against opinions. It's a law against deliberate misinformation, targeting of families that are already going through hell, photoshopping photos, making videos up, making information up that's got no evidential basis. This is what it's a law against. And I think, I think it's justified. So I've put a link to the petition to sign for Jay's Law, again in the description. Now, I just want to have a look at where we are. Well, actually, I'm going to say my hellos and things first, but very briefly, just thank you to everyone for watching, for liking, for caring about Jay, and for caring about Jay's family. A lot of people out there, they say they care about Jay. They don't care about Jay. They believe every conspiracy theory. Oh, it must be this, it must be that, this must have happened, that must have happened, with no evidence whatsoever. That's not caring about Jay or caring about his family. And they're still out there and doing it. These TikTokers, there's a couple of them that are just awful. I mean, awful. And they've not stopped. In fact, if anything, they've doubled down on it. They're still being horrible to Debbie, even after all this time. What is wrong with them? Have they not got a life of their own? Have they not got, other cases that they can cover? Legitimate things they can say, instead of just always down on Debbie all the time, just because they know that they'll get clicks for that. It's disgusting. Honestly, they've got big karma coming. I don't even know how they can sleep at night. Honest to God, I don't. They just need to say now. Nobody knows why Jay went back to the Airbnb. Nobody knows that, and I don't think we'll ever know that. But the fact is, Jay Slater had a terrible accident because he decided to try and walk home. That is what happened after that. Why he went to the Airbnb, I don't know. There's no way that those two took him up there in this, the search and rescue people said that. You could not. It's hard enough to, where he was found, you couldn't even walk there. It's hard to walk there yourself. That's how Jay ended up having an accident, let alone carry a body up there. Do you really imagine people carrying a body up there? I mean, it's so ludicrous. And then, some people even said, oh, well, they must have loaded it down in a helicopter, because they just picked up a helicopter somewhere. Nobody noticed it hovering around. Honestly, there's something wrong with the people that make up these stories. And, no offense, but something wrong with the people that believe them as well. If you really believe that, I just don't know where you're coming from. But anyway, the most important people at the moment are Jay's family, because they're the ones that are coping with losing Jay. They're coping with him day in, day without having him, day in, day out. And the most affected will be Debbie, because Jay lived with her. And they were close. They had a close relationship. I don't know why people, you can see from the photos that we've seen of Jay and his mum, they were close. And you'll see in this interview in particular, this is what she says in this interview: what's happened to humanity and kindness? Honestly, that just makes me think the same thing. How could you troll somebody whose son has died in those circumstances. I have no idea. So I fully support Jay's law. I hope you will too. Oh, let's have a look. Oh God, I was doing so many things at the same time because I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm not hungry. I'm not angry, but I am hungry. I've just put the lunch on and it'll be ready by the time I finish this video. Sorry, I'm waffling there. Right, so what am I going to do next? So yeah, thank you. Now, a special thank you to my members. I'll see you tonight. I've got some things to talk about. You may notice at the back here, there's quite a big space on the wall there. I've got something to fill that space for Christmas. I will be unveiling that later. If it all goes well, of course. If it goes up okay. What else? So, hello to my lovely lurkers. And hello to Replay Crew. Thank you for watching. Let's have a look who's in the chat. There's a couple of you in the chat. I'll say hello to you and then we'll get on with talking about the petition and also having a look at Debbie's latest interview. So, where are we? Oh, there's quite a few. You've been doing quite a bit of chat. Hi, David. I hope you're well. Hi, Lily. Hope you're all getting ready for Christmas, whatever it's going to be for you. Hi, Paula. Yes, I think it was a fly lily, but it did give me a bit of a turn. Oh, Angel's feeling poorly. I feel poorly, so I've got. Oh, I thought you said a Coke. I don't think a cake will be very good for you, Angel, if you feel poorly, really. Hi, Janie and Rosie. Soup, chicken and pasta soup. I was going to do something else then. Oh, yeah, there's some new emojis for the members, which I think I put in at the beginning. Let me just put them again here. Yeah, we've got a Santa emoji, Christmas tree emoji. I put the Pinocchio one back because people seem to quite like that one. I've got an eye emoji for thanks for watching. Or I'm watching you. I've got my eye on you. We've got the baby in a manger. So these are all new members emojis. Yes. Angel, you should have chicken soup if you're not feeling well. Chicken soup really is good when you don't feel well, isn't it? Oh, there you go. David's going mad with the Christmas. Yeah. So, yeah, I thought we'd have a few Christmassy emojis. And I brought back the Pinocchio one because people seem to quite miss that. Because we do talk about a lot of liars, of course. And I should put that up for in fact, I think I will. So these bloody TikTokers and YouTubers, and I am a YouTuber, they make it worse for the rest of us, don't they? They make it worse for the rest of us because they're telling lies all the time. And people, seems like people quite like a conspiracy theory. They'll go along with any conspiracy theory, especially if it's against the police. People don't like the police a lot of the time. But do you know what? To me, with Jay's case, it's been investigated properly, not only by the police So, if you think there's a conspiracy, you'd have to think that the Spanish police, the British police, the family, the friends, all these people that would have to be involved in this conspiracy. Just ridiculous. Jay had a terrible accident. It's terrible. His family are the ones that have to live with it, knowing that they aren't ever going to see their son anymore. But anyway, so for those of you who haven't seen the petition, if you feel like signing it, this is the petition. I've put the link in the description. Now it's gone up a little bit because it was very low when I first sort of looked at it. It was only about 1,500 or something. This just makes my blood boil because all those people out there were millions of posts about Jay all over social media saying all sorts. He'd been kidnapped. He was a drug mule. he was this, he was that, his parents were this, his friends were that, or, you know, millions of posts on social media. And now there's only 3,365 signatures. Now we need, I think they need 10,000 to have it debated in Parliament. So come on, please, please sign the petition. You know, if you care about families, because, you know, you just have to hope and pray to God that you are never in that position. You know, a family that had to go out to a foreign country where they didn't speak the language to try and find their son, to bring him home in a body bag. And that, not only going through all that, but enduring the hate that this family had to endure, and particularly Debbie. It's disgusting. So, you know, I just hope that people out there, all of you, I hope nobody has to face that again. But there will be more. There will be more as time goes on. Anyway, this law that Debbie's promoting is to require online platforms to remove misinformation. So this is not about curtailing free speech. This is not about saying, oh, I think Jay foul play might have happened. It's not about saying that. It's about saying, oh yeah, Jay was taken off on a boat and he was, what did they say? Oh, he was kidnapped, and they showed those photos that were supposedly of him, you know, enduring torture. That is misinformation. Misinformation is not saying, oh, I wonder if there's more to this than meets the eye. That is not a misinformation. Misinformation is presenting things that are not facts as if they are facts. So it's specific legislation obliging platforms to remove organised misinformation that targets grieving families after tragic deaths. So as well, you know, calling Jay's own family murderers, or saying they did it for the money, you know, it was or saying it was all staged. That is misinformation. I think we have to have it clear what they're trying to do with this petition. It's not about removing free speech for people to have an opinion. It's for people to saying things are facts when they've got no evidence. Anyone who's ever challenged me about Jay Slater, I say to them always, where's the evidence? And they go, oh, well, there's no evidence. But, well, if there's no evidence, then you've got, you know, what are you saying? Then it's only speculation if you've got no evidence. So this is to require platforms to act on speculative, malicious content likely to cause serious harm, and work with Ofcom on enforcement and sanctions. So this was created by Debbie on the 4th of May. Oh no, that's the 4th of May, the deadline. So it runs for 6 months. We need to get it to 10,000 signatures. Please, 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 you know, sign this petition, because this is not anti-social media. This is to help clean up social media, because I hate, you know, if I said to someone, oh yeah, I'm a YouTuber, or I'm a, you know, content creator, people, oh, they think it's to do with like TikTok, and even TikTok's not all bad, is it? But, you know, if you're a TikToker, you don't want people saying you are a certain way because of these horrible people. Honestly, I've seen them recently. The same ones that were brought up on in the documentary about Jay Slater, they're still doing it. They are, in Spanish we have an expression, sin vergüenza, no shame whatsoever. It sounds better in Spanish somehow. They're horrible, horrible people. They really are. And I would mention their names, except I just can't even bring myself to put them on my in my mouth. So please sign the petition. The link is in the link if you want to sign it. Now we're going to look at this ITV News interview. I'll just read the article first. Oh no, we'll watch the interview first. Now, I don't think you can help but be moved by what Debbie says. Please, can we remember that whatever else happens, this family, Debbie, Warren, Zach, they've accepted what, do you think they haven't questioned everything? They will never find out why Jay went to that B&B with Rocky and Ayub. But there's no way that, in my opinion, Rocky and Ayub had anything to do with Jay's death. They might be guilty of other things. There might be drugs issue. I don't know. I really don't know. But I don't think for a minute that they had anything to do with Jay's death. Jay's death was an accident. And that's what his family have accepted. And, so because I was saying about Nathan Osman, somebody put a comment on, oh, well, why do you think this needs further investigation, but you don't think Jay Slater? Well, it's all about the family. What do the family want? What do the family want? It's nothing to do with you or me, really. I'm just reporting what's I'm not the one who has to live with it. The family live with it. Nathan Osman's family are not happy. Also, it's bloody mega suspicious that his card was used the following day. We haven't got this with Jay. To me, Jay's death is not suspicious. That's my opinion. And that's what the opinion that his family's come to. And we have to go with that. Because they are the important ones, not us. Anyway, let's have a look at this video.
Has lived through every parent's waking nightmare. The phone call, the missing child, the agonizing wait. But that nightmare played out in the full glare of the public eye. Every step followed as she searched for her son.
The search went on and there was no news. It was just incredibly hard. It just seemed to, it was 29 days before they found Jay, but it just felt like a lifetime. It was just agonising. You just a normal lad. Just went on holiday and didn't come back.
Jay Slater vanished after a night out with friends on holiday in Tenerife. It sparked a massive manhunt and a host of conspiracy theories about his disappearance. For 29 days, his family heard wild rumours and awful accusations, all without knowing what really happened to their boy.
There were, various images, obviously photoshopped images of Jay.
There were photoshopped images. They were videos that were invented. There was all sorts of things, and they had to sort of, well, she'll tell you in a minute. You sort of, there's part of you, part of you knows because you're trying to listen to what the police are saying. Of course, you're working in a foreign country. I mean, it's even worse in a foreign country. It'd be bad enough in your own country with your own language and knowing how procedures go. But in a foreign country and not understanding the way the Guardia work and relying on interpreters, you can't talk directly to people. Same with John George, that his family found that as well. But not only that, then you've got people attacking you. I honestly, literally do not understand this. There's something wrong with it. We should feel sorry for those people, really, because how sad must your life be? That you spend it sort of investigating into making a family who's lost their son and he's probably dead, but making them miserable. That's how you get off. That's how you get your kicks. You need help, professional help.
Where he was saying he's being tortured and we know where he is, and it was just so intense, and you were looking at these people well, do they know? It was just awful. Just what's happened to humanity and kindness and thinking about what you're actually doing to real people.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. I think people don't think they're real people. Like Jay turned into some caricature or some sort of, he wasn't real. But he was real. he was real, and she's real. The whole family are real. And yeah, it must make you think. So when you see those videos online, and although you sort of know that they're a load of rubbish in one way, maybe the officials, as are saying to you, no, this is, but there'd be part of you inside thinking, well, what if it is real? What if it is real? What if he has been kidnapped? She got apparently she just landed off the plane and she got phone calls from people saying they had Jay and they wanted a ransom and this, that, and the other. So this is what I mean. You sort of, there'd be part of you was sort of almost wanting to believe it, because also if it was true, he would be alive, wouldn't he? If he'd been kidnapped and he was being tortured, that's horrible, but at least he'd be alive. And the alternative really was that he was here on this mountain. So I always struck me, I remember Warren saying on one of his videos that he made, I just hope someone has taken him off this mountain, because he could see that if he hadn't been taken off the mountain, he couldn't possibly be alive. So very, very sad.
After nearly a month, Jay's body was found by a mountain rescue team. An inquest ruled the teenager had lost his footing and fallen into a ravine. At last, his loved ones could bring him home. But although the search for Jay was over, the social media storm has never abated.
I've lost my son, which is the worst thing, the worst pain anyone can imagine. But they don't seem to get that, it's like they just want to carry on with the hurt.
Yeah, they just don't get it. They don't understand it. Have they not got children of their own, or are they just that horrible people? It's just beyond me. There's something wrong with these people.
How would you describe the toll this has taken on you?
Like mentally, it's been really hard. I'm trying to grieve and remember Jay as, our child. That's been really difficult, because I feel like he was like dehumanized, and he was just this story.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been really hard, really, really hard.
So what would you like the government to do?
They can't do anything with the social media platforms. It seems to be lawless at the moment. So yeah, I think we do need a change in the law. The damage is done for me now, but this law is about wanting to change things for future families.
The government told us that those who hide behind their screens to make threats should be under no illusion. Their actions carry serious consequences. Violent threats on social media can result in up to 5 years in prison. They added, the Online Safety Act introduces clear duties on platforms to tackle illegal content, including false and misleading information that can cause real-world harm. But Debbie feels more needs to be done. Today, she brought her campaign to Parliament, urging politicians to pass a new law to tackle online trolls and force social media companies to remove misinformation targeting bereaved families.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, I think we've all got, a lot of you that are watching, you'll have children or grandchildren, maybe a similar age to Jay. Of course, he was only 19 years old on his first boy's family. He was a boy that had got into trouble when he was younger, but he seemed to have turned a corner. He was he had a job and he was going on holiday, and when he was out that night, he took quite a lot of drugs and alcohol. But that's what young people do. There is no evidence that he was a drug mule or anything like that. There's no evidence. People have said that, but again, where's the evidence? All I say, if any of you've got anything to say about Jay or about his family or about anything that you don't agree with the official narrative, then tell me why and what's your evidence. Not because Fred on TikTok said it, so it must be true, but where's your evidence? Where's their evidence? There is no evidence. And even Rocky and Ayub, they're not the best sort of, I'm not saying that they're the best sort of people, but they didn't even know Jay. you know, so they'd only just met him. And, you know, I think it's you, David, said earlier, why didn't they go to the funeral? Do you really think they could have gone to the funeral? God, you know, how were they going to go to the funeral? I mean, Rocky's not shown any interest, to be honest, in, you know, because he's got his own issues going on, hasn't he? Legal issues. Ayub did appear at least at the on video link at the inquest, but I'm not saying they're the best people or that they cared about Joe. They didn't care about Joe, didn't even know him. He was just someone they met while they were out and about, and they probably were taking some drugs together or whatever. I think that's probably a reason why Jay went back to the Airbnb. They're not going to say that, are they? What are they going to say? Oh, yeah, we took him back to the Airbnb because we're going to sell him some drugs. They're not going to say that. But that doesn't mean to say that they were involved in him dying. That's a totally separate thing. You know, Jay decided, unfortunately, to make that walk because he looked at it in his, you know, the state he was in after all those days of partying and thought, oh, it'd be quicker if I just walked down here. You could just see it. You could just see it, feel it. I knew that right from the beginning, that that's exactly what he'd done. Now, why he went there in the first place, that's another thing, but I don't think we'll ever get to know the full story of that.
She's being backed by her local MP.
If people stood on their doorsteps and shouted these things through their front door, the police would come and take them away. If journalists tried to tell these stories that are baseless of any fact, they again would be held by Ofcom and would not be allowed to pursue that. And yet people are allowed to do that online, and there is no end in sight for these families. That's got to stop.
What would it mean to you and your family to get Jay's law passed?
It would mean everything. Obviously, it would be in Jay's name. That's the last thing that I can do for Jay to protect.
No, now this is it. We're coming up to the second Christmas that Debbie has spent without Joe. It'll be a different Christmas this year. So last year was the first Christmas. She didn't have Jay there. I'm sure it was totally traumatic. Now this year, a year's gone by, and obviously, you know, she hasn't got over it. She'll never get over losing Jay. But it should be different. It'll be a different feeling. So when all the furore dies down, like, you know what it's like if you've had a bereavement. It's all chaos at first, isn't it? There's paperwork to do, there's the funeral to organise, going to the funeral, so, you know, letting everybody know it's all happening. Then it all sort of settles down, doesn't it? So I think where Debbie is now, I imagine, I don't know, I'm literally putting words in her mouth. Sorry about that, but I'm just thinking how it would be for me. She's trying to find a way of coping with her son's death and a way of making him live on, if you like. So, you know, he's died at 19, he's forever 19. And, you know, she can't change that. It's happened, and she'll be coming to terms with it, even though, you know, you never get over it. You come to terms with things, don't you? You just plod on because you have to. But she's still trying to fight. So what she said there, I think, was very important, like, because it's in Jay's name. It's like a way of keeping his memory alive, isn't it? You know,
Protect other families having to endure what we've endured.
I think
Debbie has launched an online petition and is urging others to share their views as she works to make the online world a better place in memory of her child. Leisha McNally, ITV News, Westminster.
Ah, bless. So, yeah, whenever I see them together like that, because they just, you know, whatever anybody thinks of Jay, and, you know, I don't know, and obviously he had a checkered history, and people say, you know, sometimes people come on here and make really nasty comments, like because I sort of defend him, not because I don't think he was an angel. He wasn't an angel. But if you tell me you think if you've got a 19-year-old in your family, boy or girl, you think they're an angel and they never get up to anything or do anything or get involved in things they shouldn't get involved in. You know, I'm telling you now, you're living in cloud cuckoo land, because you haven't got a clue what your child does by the time they get to 19, when they walk out their front door. You just no idea what they do. You think your child is better than everybody else's. They're not. You know, it's just they're hiding it better from you. So, you know, teenagers do things, bad things. Hopefully not, you know, too bad. And Jay got involved, didn't he, in a group that did a bad thing. But even the person that he did that bad thing to, or the group he was involved with did that bad thing to, he came out during the search for Jay and said he didn't hold it. You know, it was just like something that was going on at the time. And that's the person that was attacked by the friends of Jay who came out in defense of Jay. So, you know, he's got the right to forgive Jay. You know, nobody else has the right to condemn Jay or forgive him or whatever. But the person who was, you know, the recipient of the bad actions against him, he has the right to do it. So, you know, they are all alike at that age. You know, I've been there. We've all been. I would just say anyone who thinks that your 19-year-old is always telling you the truth and tells you everything about where they go, what they do, what substances they take, whether they drink or not, whether they smoke or not. If you really believe that, it just, I mean, only you've got to think about what you were like when you were 19. You know, we've all been there. We've all been 19. We might, you know, you don't tell your parents everything, do you? Anyway, looks as if Jay and Debbie did have a good relationship. I hope they did. She's got good memories to hang on to at least. But, you know, so, and the same for Warren, his dad, you know, and his brother. The memories are what keep you going, whoever you lose. In the beginning, they're not much comfort, are they? But as time goes on, it's the memories, like, and the funeral, you know, and how many people. I hope that Debbie eventually will see, you know, that a lot of people cared about Jay, not everybody on social media or on TikTok or whatever. Was, you know, turning Jay into some sort of caricature, that he wasn't a real person. Most people, probably most people, but the quieter majority, if you like, were worrying about, you know, hoping that Jay would be found or hoping that he would be safe, because most people are decent. But it is irritating me a bit about this petition, you know, for it to have less than 4,000 signatures. I've had more than 4,000 views on videos about Jay. So how can it be that all this social media that was on fire when Jay went missing can't sign this petition? You know, that just makes me angry. You know, it really makes me angry. So, you know, if you're watching this and you're one of the ones that goes with the conspiracy theories or whatever, please sign the petition. Do you not care about Jay? Do you care about his family? Do you care about his mother, his father, his brother? If you do, sign the petition. It's not against free speech. It's against misinformation. Now, you know, on here, we're all entitled to speculation. We're all entitled to views. But if you think, oh, Jay was, I don't know, God, the ridiculous things that people have said. He was taken off on a boat, or well, you'd show me the evidence that he was taken off on a boat, and then I'll listen to it. If you haven't got any evidence to back up your claims, then they're not valid, in my opinion. You know, and that's not only in Jay's case. We try and avoid misinformation, disinformation on this channel. It's hard sometimes, and you know, we do feel strongly about things. You know, I am opinionated, and a lot of the things I say, that's the way I am. But you know, there you go. You know, this is a YouTube channel, and I give my opinion. Maybe I shouldn't. Sometimes people tell me I shouldn't, you know, which is quite funny, really, when you think about it. So I wouldn't go on their YouTube channel and tell them what to think. But anyway. So, yeah, let's share the petition. I'm going to try and share it, you know, every couple of days or something. Just so it has grown from the last time. I know it was only 1,000 something the last time. I don't know if Debbie's on TikTok, or I know Warren was on TikTok. He should share it, I suppose, if he's in agreement with it. And of course, Debbie and Warren, they're not together, so I don't know if there's any dissension there amongst them. But that's all we can do is share it. We can't bring Jay back. We can't change what happened to Jay. But at least, as she says, I mean, you've got to just think, if it was your young person, in your loved one, or any loved one, doesn't have to be a young person, someone in your family went missing, and that happened where you were blamed for it, wrongly. I mean, don't forget, what Debbie's talking about is being accused of killing her own son, of it all being like a scheme to get money and things. These are the things she's talking about. It's not about whether someone has an opinion or not. It's actually attacking her, nastily. The nastiness. It's breathtaking, really. Anyway, that's it that I'm going to talk about for that. I'll be back tonight in the members. We'll be a bit more jovial. We'll be in Christmas mode. As I say, I've got something to put up at the back there, a backdrop that I'll be revealing tonight. I just want to cheer you all up before we finish. Here's a picture of the dogs. It was murder trying to get these photos. They're just funny, isn't it? They won't, when you try and take a photo, she's the worst one, Princess Tia in the middle. She's the worst one for trying to take a photo of her. Trying to get them to look at the camera with their little Christmas things on. Obviously, I had to do it all separately because they all hate, well, Rocky and Riley get on okay, but she doesn't like any other dogs, so you can't have them in the same room with her. Anyway, yeah, we'll be probably talking Christmassy things, maybe. Whatever anyone wants to talk about, really. That's what we do in the members. So anyway, I'll see you later, if you remember. If not, I'll probably be tomorrow now, unless anything dramatic happens. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye.
Click that like if you're smiling today. Give a follow to help spread the play. Share the play with friends everywhere, so more can laugh and show they care. Like, follow, share, subscribe, don't hide. Like, follow, share, subscribe, don't hide. Like, follow, share, subscribe, don't hide, don't hide. Join Vicky Marie's Ride Worldwide. Tap that bell so you never miss a dose of love and endless bliss. YouTube others, search my name, Vicky Marie, let's grow this flame. Thanks for the support, you're the best crew. Now go tell the world you know what to do. Vicky Marie, ha ha ha. You Marie, ha ha ha. Let's brag now. Click that like if you're smiling today. Give a follow to help spread the play. Share the joy with friends everywhere, so more can laugh and show they care. Like, follow, share, subscribe, don't hide. Like, follow, share, subscribe, don't hide. Like, follow, share, subscribe, don't hide, don't hide. Let's grow this flame. Click that like if you're smiling today. Give a follow to help spread the play. Share the joy with friends everywhere, so more can laugh and show they care.